Live again, talking about the wheel of health and finding balance. So this is going to be a little bit of just me sharing some thoughts and also Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, please post in the chat. I also have the link in the chat for the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle because that's what we are sharing about this week. Until May 11th, we've got the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. So thank you to everyone who's purchased it already, and I hope you're having fun with all the cool new things that are in there because it's all new. You're getting absolutely everything on the website. I had some questions. Someone was asking, I go to the website and I want to get your book. But I'm like, you get everything on the website, everything for $50, just one payment of $50. So click the link in the chat or in my bio or wherever the link is and go to the website. Check out all the new things that you're getting. This bundle is different from every other bundle. Every bundle is different anyways, but this bundle is special because it's absolutely brand new content from all of us. So definitely go check it out and see. Welcome everybody. So good to see you. Watermelon lime. Thinks I'm pretty. Thank you. Having fun with my hair is like growing nice and long. I don't want to cut it because I want to grow it really long. So that's just a side note. But I want to talk about the wheel of health. And I originally heard of this from Dr. Doug Graham's wife, Rosalind. And she was talking about the wheel of health, about how it's everything, right? We've got spokes to the wheel of all the different aspects of health, like sleep and exercise and diet and meditation and all those other kinds of things, right? So she talks about the wheel of health. And by the way, if you grab the bundle, if you get the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, there is an exclusive interview in there with Dr. Doug Graham and Ted Carr. I think it's a 2-part video series. There's like 3 hours of the 26 raw food secrets. So if you're interested in that, it was filmed exclusively for the bundle. So grab the bundle so that you can watch that as well. And you can make wraps from my hand salads ebook. And you can learn about kitchen essentials from Nate. So the link is in my bio or in the chat to go grab that. But so I learned from Dr. Doug Graham's wife about the wheel of health. And the wheel of health is really interesting because many of us who come into this health world, we put a huge emphasis on diet, which is okay. Like their diet is a massive part of health. But if we look at the wheel of health, it's like a big giant wheel and you have spokes to the wheel, right? Diet is only one of the spokes. And if they all are equal, the wheel works properly. But if you have one of the spokes that's way too long and the other ones are too short, then you're going to have an oblong wheel and it's not going to run properly. So the reason I want to talk about this is because so many people put so much emphasis on diet, which I said again is important. It's very incredibly important to eat proper foods, right? But it shouldn't be your whole life. And there's so much more to health than just diet. We can be eating an incredibly perfect diet, but still suffer from issues like lack of sleep. Sleep is so important that I personally don't think that it's a spoke in the wheel. So you've got spokes in the wheel. You've got diet, you've got exercise, you've got breath work, you've got relationships, you've got following your passion, you've got meditation, you've got all of these spokes of things that we do regularly in our lives to promote health. Sleep, I think, is the axle that holds all the spokes together. Without sleep, you don't really have a wheel. Sleep is just as important as the air that we breathe. Sleep is so important. And like I said, even if you're eating the most perfect diet, if you're not sleeping adequate hours and you're not sleeping quality, then a lot of things in your health can be compromised. So there's things that sleep does that diet will never do, like clear the adenosine out of your brain. And they're linking low sleep hours with Alzheimer's now. There's new studies that are showing that. So sleep is incredibly important. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm on a raw diet, I don't need a lot of sleep. That can be a couple things. I think personally, most people who go on a raw diet are not eating enough calories. And when you're not eating enough calories to sustain your body has a harder time going to sleep because your body's looking for more calories. So eating enough during the day is incredibly important to help with your sleep. And also all the other things that we need to do in our life to have a good quality sleep, not just diet, but exposing ourselves to sunshine early in the morning, even if it's just looking out your window, or using blue light blockers so that you're not getting the exposure from the screens. You're turning the temperature down to about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't remember what that is in Celsius, like 18 degrees Celsius. At night when the sun goes down, to help your body get into a state where it's ready to sleep. So that helps as well. Blacking out your room, like Nate and I have these eye masks that we use now. They're game changing. They're so amazing because they've got like pockets so you can open your eyes and your eyelashes don't hit the mask. They're really comfortable and they keep it dark. So it's really easy to sleep better quality when you have blackout curtains or a blackout mask or something like that. So sleep is the axle that holds all of the spokes together. Oh, look at Nate. He's so good. So this is my eye mask. And as you can see, there's like holes in it so that like it sits on your face and then you can open your eyes. So this is my mask that I use when I sleep. And it's really nice to keep everything dark. So that's a really great thing to do. We really need to work on our quality of sleep. Hydration is another spoke to the wheel, but again, sleep holds all the spokes together. So we really need to be working on our sleep and then equally distributing our focus on other areas of health instead of overly being so obsessed with just diet or what goes into our body. And like I said, I want to reiterate this again and again. It's not that I'm saying that we shouldn't be focused on diet. Of course we should be focused on diet. And of course we should be looking for like making sure that we're eating proper foods. But we should also be putting the same amount of energy into exercise, into our sleep, into hydration, into following our passion, into positive relationships, a positive mindset. Like as much energy as we put into our diet, we should be putting in these other areas as well. So we can keep all of the spokes of the wheel even. We're not over focusing on any specific area. Because if you're over focusing on exercise, but you don't really care about your diet, that's not going to really be as helpful in the long run anyways. If you are over focused on sleep, but you're not eating good and you're not moving, that's not going to be ideal either. If you're over focused on following your passion, but you have crappy relationships and you're in a job you don't like, then that's not really going to be helpful either. So it's really about finding the balance between all of these things and putting the same love and energy into other areas of health, not just into the diet. And that's what I love about the bundle, is that there's not just diet stuff in the bundle. We've got yin yoga courses, which can help you to find stillness. We've got sacred sound, which can help with your meditation. We have finding food freedom, which helps with your mental health, your relationship with food. I personally feel the relationship with food is more important than the food we eat. And when I say that, I don't mean that the food we eat isn't important. If the food we eat is incredibly important, and our relationship with food is even more important than that, then that really shows how important it is to have a healthy relationship with food and our bodies. So there's a food freedom course in there. There's workout stuff. There's all kinds of really great stuff in the bundle. So please make sure that you go grab the bundle before it's gone on May 11th. The link is in the chat or in my bio. Someone's asking, where can I buy the mask? So Nate bought those masks on Amazon. I'm sure you could send him a message and he can send you a link to get those. I didn't buy them. He bought them as a gift. So I don't know exactly which one, but he has a link. You can send him a direct message at @RawNattyNate. I just bought a mask for my Israel trip and I'm using it now that I'm home too. Yeah, aren't they cool? They're so cool and they're really good to wear, traveling or just every night to keep everything dark and make it easier to sleep so you have better quality sleep. I've been struggling with sleep. I have been told not to eat for hours before sleep. Is that necessary with raw food? That's a great question. Again, if you guys have questions, I'm here to do question and answer. We're talking about the wheel of health, keeping balance. So yes, the thing is with raw food, you have to eat more volume of raw food to get enough in so that you get enough calories. And if you're not getting enough calories, then you're probably gonna have problems with sleep. That said, I recommend eating earlier in the day and trying to bulk up and eat most of your calories by lunch-ish. Like try to get the over half of your calories by lunch so that you can eat like about 500 calories for dinner. So it's best to have like 1,500 calories from your breakfast, your snacks, and your lunch. And then you can get 500 calories from your dinner, and then you can eat dinner at say like 4:30 or 5 p.m. and then go to bed around 8:30 or 9, right? That would be, and that's kind of how Nate and I do it when we're not on a crazy schedule because of the bundle. But that's how we like it the best. We like to get up early. We have fruit first thing in the morning. We go for our walk, and then we have a smoothie when we get back from our walk. Then we snack on, like if we're hungry, I'll have like a couple bananas or chop up an apple. And then at lunchtime, so we basically have like 800 to 1,000 calories worth of fruit in the morning. And then lunchtime is like a good 500 or 600 calorie salad. And then sometimes we'll snack on fruit or whatever in between if we need to. And then we have another 500 or 600 calorie salad for dinner, or we'll have a wrap or a burger or whatever. But it tends to be around 500 to 600 calories because the thing is with raw food, it's so high in fiber and water that it stretches the stomach. So when you're eating the food, stretching the stomach, it sends a signal to your brain that says, I'm full. That's how we know we're full. But with cooked food and processed food, you can fit a lot more into your stomach before you get that stretch receptor result. That means the food is calorie dense, meaning you're eating way more calories than your stomach can get to that stretch receptor signal. So it's a little bit different on raw food because we do need to eat more volume of raw food and sometimes more often in order to get all the calories we need. So if you want to end earlier, which is a great idea as well, like to stop eating a couple hours before bed for sure. I mean, if you're hungry before bed, eat. I'm like, don't not eat because someone said so. If you're hungry, that means you need fuel, even if it's before bed or whatever. Eat to fuel, eat to fuel. So if you did, though, want to eat dinner at 5:30 and not 9 o'clock, then you're going to want to push your breakfast earlier in the day so that you're able to get enough calories throughout the day because, again, it's easy to undereat on a raw diet. And if you're undereating on a raw diet, you're going to have issues with sleep. You're going to probably have headaches. You're going to be more irritable. And you're going to have a lot of symptoms that a lot of people say is just detox when in reality, it's because you're not eating enough. And I would say I coach a lot of people one-on-one, and the number one thing that people have issues with, they have all these symptoms, is because they're not eating enough. They're not eating enough low calorie density foods. You have to eat a huge amount of them. And people are like, well, I feel full. And it's because you can only fit like 500 calories in your stomach at any given time of raw food. So you do have to eat more often in order to get an adequate amount of calories in. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, if you're having issues sleeping, definitely would recommend eating more often and starting earlier in the day. What do you think about intermittent fasting? I personally do not do it because I mean, there have been mornings where I've skipped breakfast because I've been like frazzled with like work or deadlines or whatever. I do not feel good doing that. I feel my best when I eat as many calories as I can first thing in the morning from fruit smoothies, that kind of thing. The thing is, intermittent fasting is kind of become a trend because people have to fit, like they're eating dense calories throughout the day. So in order to like restrict their calories, they start eating later so that they're only eating like 1 or 2 meals. And it doesn't make any sense to me on a raw diet because you have to eat a lot. There is no way that I can fit 2,400 calories into my body in a 6-hour window. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. unless you're eating high fat, which I don't want to eat because that interferes with your insulin. So I personally prefer to eat multiple times throughout a long window. Like as soon as I get up, I eat some bananas, I eat some fruit. In the summertime when we have mangoes, we'll be like eating like a bunch of mangoes and berries and all kinds of delicious fruits as soon as we get up. Like get out of bed and get in the kitchen and eat some fruit, and then we go for a walk, and then when we get back, then we make a smoothie. So we have big breakfasts in the morning and it feels so much better. I have way more energy during the day. My walk is so much better. I notice if I do not have at least 200 calories worth of fruit before we go for our walk, I notice a difference. I can walk faster, I can get a better workout when I have fuel in my body. So those are my thoughts. I won't be ever doing the intermittent fasting thing. It just does not make sense to me on a raw diet. It's kind of like it's for the other people who are eating different things. It just does not work. And yeah, good point. Intermittent fasting has primarily been studied on men and not women. And that's a very good point too. Another thing that I've noticed, and I've been in the natural health industry for now over 20 years. I started when I was 21 in 2001. So it's been a long time, over 20 years. Yeah, it's been like 22 years that I've been in natural health. And I've known about this for decades. And I've talked to thousands of people about this. And what I've noticed, a common thread, is that it starts to cause mental disorders, body dysmorphia, and fear around food because they have to keep it in a window, or they can't eat this thing, or they're worried that they're going to gain weight, or whatever it is. This can start to cause mental disorders, which is very sad to see. And I hope that, like what I teach, I really hope that people can start to realize that we need to work on our relationship with food. And when you're on a raw diet, you don't have to follow diet culture fads or trends or anything like that. You can eat abundantly. You can enjoy plenty of different fruits and vegetables. So it's really, really, really good to just release all of those fads and diet culture stuff and everything and just work on feeding yourself properly, eating the food that nature has made for us. High fiber, feed your microbiome every day. Eat like the hydration from the food, the nutrients you're getting. They're going to help with phase 2 detox in your liver. Like we need nutrients so that our liver can actually detox. So it's really important to eat. And I am very, very, very pro eating multiple times throughout the day. Lots of fruit, lots of salads, tons of vegetables, an abundance of everything. So Maria is asking how to prepare your body for raw eating. I've been doing whole food plant-based eating over a year. Congratulations. That's wonderful that you're doing that. For preparing for a raw diet, you don't have to do anything. I believe that you do not need to do anything to eat a raw diet except change your habits. And to change your habits, you just practice your new habit. To practice your new habit, you choose raw food. So I would start with breakfast. Start mastering breakfast. Once you get breakfast down and you're doing your fruit in the morning, you're doing your smoothies, maybe you put greens in your smoothies, and you're good with that. Also, lowering your fat percentage is going to really help when you increase your fruit in consumption. So then once you get breakfast done, then you work on lunch, right? Because now you have the habit of making a smoothie in the morning, and then you can work on getting lunch. You can make wraps from the ebook, hand salads that I just released in the plant-based bundle, or in the, not the plant-based bundle, the ultimate raw vegan bundle. But you can get the wrap book, you can get tons of recipes. There's over 400 recipes in this bundle. The link is in my bio or in the chat. And you can just start adding more raw food. You don't have to prepare for it. Just start adding it slowly and work with your gut microbiome, because if you're coming from a diet that's low in fiber and you're on a whole food plant-based diet, so it's probably a lot higher than the average person, but slowly start to increase your fiber intake, your raw intake, and work with where you're at. It's not a competition. You don't need to clean yourself out in order to eat raw food. You just have to start eating raw food and change your habits so it becomes a daily habit. That's what I would suggest. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please post in the chat. The wheel of health, finding balance is key, and that's the long-term journey of it, is finding that balance and not being overly focused on certain areas of life, but being equally focused on all areas of life. So not just diet, not just exercise, not just sleep, not just hydration, but finding ways to incorporate each one individually into your life and give them each equal attention, not too much into one. Maria's saying thank you for your response. You're very welcome. I hope that helps. But yeah, like I know there's some people out there who feel like they need to do something to prepare, but all you have to do is have a desire. All you need is that desire to start adding more raw food to your life and to not put so much pressure on yourself, because I feel like, especially with the wheel of health, people put so much pressure on having a perfect diet that they neglect a lot of the other things in their life. They neglect their hydration, they neglect their exercise, they neglect sleep, they neglect their passions, they neglect a lot of things because they're so focused on eating this pure and perfect diet. Another thing too, one of the spokes that I think is really important to add to the wheel of health is the mechanics of digestion, because we can be eating the most perfect food, but if we're not chewing our food, then it's going to be more challenging to digest it. And when we chew our food, like if we really want to get lots of nutrition out of our food, we need to chew it really well so that our gut microbiome can digest it really well for us. We need to chew our food. Eating and then sitting for like 4 hours talking to friends, that can cause digestive upset as well. So it's important to get up and move. Maybe go for a walk with your friends instead of sitting around and just talking or playing a game. And I know that's like, it's traditional, but we need to move out of tradition and find new traditions, because this is causing digestive upset. If you're eating when you're stressed out, that's going to be challenging as well. So finding ways to de-stress yourself before you eat is ideal so that your body can actually find that calm space so that it can digest properly. But it's really important to do the mechanics of digestion. We forget about that because we're so focused on eating raw food or whatever it is that we forget to chew. We forget to move after a meal. We forget not to talk so much while we're eating and to focus on our meals. So it's really, really important to do that. What do you think about a fruit-only diet? I am not pro fruit-only. I think that it's more beneficial long-term. I won't do anything short-term that I can't do long-term. And I personally feel like it's mostly beneficial to have an abundance of both fruit and vegetables and greens. So definitely having a lot of greens in your diet, a lot more variety, because those people who are studied who have the strongest gut microbiomes eat the most widest variety of foods. And Nate and I have some of the highest gut microbiome scores that I've ever seen, especially in this community. So we eat over 80 different kinds of fruits and vegetables every week, and we strive to make sure that we have an abundance of both. We do not put fruit on a pedestal. We value fruit for what it is, but we also value vegetables for what they are. Fruit shines when it comes to calories and hydration and vitamins and sweetness and deliciousness. Fruit shines there, but vegetables also shine in the mineral content, the protein content, the fiber variety, the bitters, like the polyphenols. There's so many things in greens that we can get abundantly. So pairing them together makes for an epic raw vegan diet. So I don't do the all fruit thing. So that's not something that I'm interested in doing, because I know the value of vegetables and I know the value of growing the microbiome. And I have a family history of gut disease. My mother had colon cancer and my uncle died at 27 with complications from Crohn's disease. I had 15 years of candida overgrowth. So I feel like my gut has come a long way, considering that I was not breastfed. So I started life out with a lower gut microbiome. So I had gut issues my entire life until I went raw. And when I went raw, I didn't do the all fruit thing. I did an abundance of everything. I didn't listen to the people saying just to eat fruit because I ate garlic and I ate loads of onion, like lots of onions. Onions are very high in inulin, as well as like things like Jerusalem artichoke and asparagus. And I eat a lot of fennel seeds now, fennel bulbs, and a lot of different vegetables that I never ate when I first went raw. And my gut has improved dramatically. My gut score is showing it. My score is, my diversity score is 99 percentile and my overall score is 93. So I think I'm doing pretty good and I'm going to stick with it. I'm definitely not going to, I'm not going to do anything different because it's working really good. Has anyone here raw got cavities? So the thing with your teeth, we're not meant to live forever. So that said, I don't want to say that you'll never get cavities because I really, it's a red flag when someone says never get cavities or never get sick or heal everything. As soon as somebody's using absolute statements like that, I run away because absolute statements are guarantees, and then for the most part, they're just trying to sell their belief. And they really want it to be true, but we have to live in reality. And if you're not brushing your teeth and you're not rinsing your mouth after meals, then you are more likely to get cavities no matter what diet you're on. On the Canadian Dental Association's website, when I was living in Canada, I went to their website. I don't know if they've changed it, but they actually said on their website that 100% of people have dental issues. So it's not just a raw food diet that's the problem. There's a lot of problems out there with dental hygiene and the nutrition that we're getting. So on a raw diet, if you're worried about calories, rinse your mouth out after every single meal. Give a really good swish, like 3 or 4 different really good swishes to get that sugar out of your mouth, because it's not sugar that directly rots your teeth. Sugar feeds the bacteria in your mouth. And the bacteria in your mouth produce an acid that erodes your teeth. So sugar is indirectly involved. So if you get rid of the sugar, the bacteria don't have as much food to eat, so they don't produce as much acid. It's when you don't brush your teeth, when you don't you're just like, well, I eat raw food, so I don't have to brush my teeth. That's going to bite you in the butt later on down the road. You need to do proper dental hygiene. It's very, very important. Floss your teeth. I wish I had one with me, but we use cocoa floss. It's a vegan floss. They use coconut oil as their lubricant, so it slides really nice, and it's made from recycled plastic, and it's really effective. Cocoa floss is the one that we use. We really like it. Magic Mud toothpaste, and rinsing your mouth out after every meal. It's like the simplest, easiest thing to do to help prevent cavities. And the word prevention, I really want to dive into that really quick right here. When people hear the word prevention, I feel these days, they think that means never get, which is completely not true. The word prevention means lessen the chances of getting. So when you're trying to prevent something, you're doing the best that you can so that you are less likely to get whatever it is, a cavity, cancer, whatever it is. We do what we can to prevent these things, but it's not a complete 100% guarantee that you're never going to get it. And that does not discount a raw diet, right? Some people say, well, if somebody got a cavity, then I'm not going to try raw, which doesn't make any sense to me because raw food is so beneficial to us. But we have to also live in reality, and we live in bodies that eventually die. We're eventually going to age, and we have to be okay with that and work with it and support our body as best we can, and to not fall into the dogma of like being pure and perfect or having to do something otherwise you're going to like get sick or something like that. So make sure that you really be discerning when you're hearing information online, and do the research, ask questions. Don't believe everything that everyone says, because if it's an absolute statement, question it. Any tips for trying to decide whether to go raw gradually or just jump in? How to figure that out, what's right for you? That's a really good question too. I always recommend going slow because most people have no idea the state of their gut microbiome. You could do a gut test. I really recommend Ombre Lab. They're a really great place. Viome.com is good too. So those are places you can get a gut microbiome test done and see the state of your gut. If your gut score is pretty low, you're going to want to go into raw slower because you're adding more fiber variety to your diet, which it just like the excessive amount of gas is just your microbiome like, whoa, that was a lot of fiber right now, right? So you want to start with smaller amounts of fiber so that you're not getting excessive amounts of gas. Now, another thing, people think that they need to get rid of their gas completely, like have zero gas, like zero gas equals perfect digestion or something. The thing is that I actually worry about people who have zero gas because gas is actually a sign that your gut microbiome is working. It's fermenting the foods that you're eating, even the fruit that you eat. Your microbiome digests the insoluble and the soluble fiber, and they produce short chain fatty acids. And when you overdo the fiber, because your gut's weaker, then you're going to have more gas. So the more gas you have, that's a sign that you need to pull back a little bit on those fibers and not eliminate. You don't want to eliminate those fibers, but you want to pull back. So if broccoli gives you a lot of gas, don't do the amount that you ate. Like say you ate 1 or 2 cups of broccoli with dinner and you're like, I got so much gas from the broccoli. It's not the broccoli's fault. It's the fact that your gut is not strong enough. It's like going to the gym and starting with the 50-pound weights and then the next day you can't move because you're so sore. It's not the weights that were the problem. It's your muscles that weren't strong enough. So you need to go slow. Instead of the 50-pound weights at the gym, start with the 5s. And so instead of the 2 cups of broccoli, start with a tablespoon and be more consistent. We know that if you consistently go to the gym, you can consistently increase the weight and you consistently increase your muscle mass. That's the same with the gut microbiome. If you consistently add smaller amounts of these fibers and you consistently grow the amount that you eat, you can consistently grow your microbiome. So it's very much like the muscles. So starting slow is a very, very good way to get into raw, and don't force yourself and don't pressure yourself to be 100% because one day maybe you do become 100%. Maybe one day you feel like you're just like, I love eating raw, and you just eat raw. It's totally up to you. It's your body. You listen to your gut microbiome and go as slowly as you feel comfortable without the pressure. This is not a competition. It's about progress over perfection. You don't want to get into like the mental disorders because you're trying to be too perfect. Just go with whatever works for you and work with your situation. We got, what's your take on nutritional yeast liquid aminos? So I include those still in my diet. I know they're not completely raw. It's like, I'm not about strict black and white, all or nothing kind of deal. I don't cook my food. I love an abundance of raw food, but I also don't fear food. I do enjoy nutritional yeast and coconut aminos every once in a while. We don't use the coconut aminos very much anymore because we use more miso. Miso because it's a living food and there's probiotics in there, and we consider it a whole food. So we've been using more miso than coconut aminos, but we do still use it here and there. It depends on the recipe. If we need something that's more of a soy sauce flavor, then we'll use the aminos. But in general, we do use either koji, the Shio koji, which we can get only in LA. So we only buy it when we go to LA, but the Shio koji is so good. Oh my gosh. Or miso. So that's what we do. And nutritional yeast, again, it's like a couple times a month we'll add it to a sauce or a dressing. Like it's not an everyday thing, but we do still use it. We're not scared. My acne got worse since raw. Oh, so this could be so many things. Karen Ramsey actually has an ebook in the bundle called How I Cleared 25 Years of Cystic Acne, and she's going to be going live with me. I don't even remember which day, but if you guys want to see the live schedule, click the link in the chat or the link in my bio and you'll be able to go to the website. You can click on the 2023 live events schedule and you can see all the live events. But Karen Ramsey has this book on how she cleared 25 years of cystic acne, and I cleared my cystic acne. It took about 4 to 5 months before the cysts stopped, and then it was even more months after that before my skin really healed down. And I have a very rare spot. Every once in a while I might get one randomly, but it's like not even, like it's like half of a percent compared to what it was before I went raw. So, and like if your liver is dealing with a lot, that might be part of the reason. So maybe working on the fiber, because the microbiome also has a big role to play in your skin health. So working with your body and just being patient and keeping your hydration up, keeping your sleep proper, exercising more. These can all be really helpful. Lemon water in the morning is really helpful. Like get that hydration in and help support your liver. Your liver is in charge of most of the detox in your body, and we need certain things from our fruits and vegetables, specifically cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables have so many things that help our body make glutathione, which is essential in phase 2 liver detox. So if we really want to facilitate detox and help our liver, we got to add more cruciferous vegetables to our diet. And when you're going raw, you might want to start a little slowly with the cruciferous just to work up with your gut microbiome, but start doing it. Like even just start with 1 Brussels sprout in your salad. That's like, you don't need to eat these like massive amounts right off the bat. Start with 1 Brussels sprout. Do that every day for 2 or 3 weeks, and then move up to 2 Brussels sprouts in your salad every day for 2 or 3 weeks. Then move up to 3, and that should be fine. Then you can start adding broccoli. Keep the Brussels sprouts and then start adding broccoli. Start to add more of those things. Start to add more fiber, because fiber actually traps toxins and pulls them out of your body. You don't want to be on a low fiber diet, because the lower the fiber, the more the toxins float through your system. So you want to get high fiber, lots of vegetables. Eat whole food, not fractionated food. Whole food is best. So hopefully those help. Are you low fat? Yes, I am. I follow a low fat diet. Now, most days we're at around 10% calories coming from fats, but you know, there's the day that we eat more than that, and it's just random, but we try every day to strive to be around the 10% total calories from fats, which tends to be with our dinner meal. We'll add our like nuts or seeds or avocado or whatever with our evening salad. But yeah, we just strive for it. We're not like perfectionists, and we don't try to be like worried if we don't stick to 10% or whatever, but yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. Let's see if there's any other questions in here. Super amazing how she can talk, read, and answer your questions. Oh, I try to talk as fast as I can and answer the questions. I'm glad I can be here to help you guys. Can you talk about food combining? I know that sweet fruit can't be combined with acid fruit because they are digested differently. This is a really great topic. So there is some value to food combining for people with weak gut microbiomes. Nate and I do not do food combining. We eat everything and anything in any combination, and it doesn't bother us at all because we have built our microbiome. So when you're eating food, if you notice issues with certain foods, then that might be a rule for you for now. But I don't believe in a universal blanket food combining for everybody, because everybody's different. I can eat melons with mangoes. I can eat melons with berries. I have no problems with that. Nate, however, he has issues if he combines melon and papaya. So he just doesn't do it. But that doesn't mean it's a rule for me, because I have no problem doing that. So every person's going to be different. You're going to have to listen to your body and see what works with you and work around that, instead of believing like just one chart is basic for everybody, as I don't believe that. I think it's based on your microbiome, and our microbiomes are as distinct as our fingerprints. So just as everybody has a different fingerprint or a snowflake, there's no 2 snowflakes that are ever alike. That's like our microbiome, and our microbiome is endangered. I read an article talking about how the human gut microbiome is currently endangered. We aren't eating enough fiber, and we aren't eating enough fiber variety. We are limiting our diets. We don't eat enough fiber. Even on raw, people limit the amount of variety that they're eating. They're only eating certain kinds of foods, or they're combining their foods. I think I've seen a lot of people start to have disordered patterns around food because of food combining. So you really have to be careful when you're doing things like this, and when you're following certain things, to not get into a state where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't eat that because that's going to cause this. Now, obviously, if it does cause issues in your body, you're going to want to be cautious of that. But if you're doing it because you saw a meme that said, don't combine oranges and apples, and then when you go to your friend's house and they have oranges and apples together in a smoothie or something, and you say no just because you heard it, but you've never tested it in your body, then that can get to become a problem later on because we get so hyper-focused. And again, the title of this topic is the Wheel of Health. We get hyper-focused on these little tiny things instead of just enjoying our life and enjoying the food combinations and listening to our own bodies. If it irritates our bodies, then it's a rule for us, not a blanket statement for everybody. So those are my thoughts on food combining. We don't do food combining. Like, we eat everything and everything all over the place, and it doesn't bother us really. Watermelon Lime says your analogies are on point. Oh, thank you. Thanks for your time. You're very welcome, everybody. I was discouraged when my good friend recently said I should be careful of orthorexia when mentioned going raw. So yeah, that's a problem too, and it has nothing to do with the food that we eat, because people can have signs of orthorexia when they're not raw, when they're just eating like even animal products. They're not even plant-based or vegan or anything. Veganism is not a diet. That's a misconception that so many people have. They're like, oh, I eat a vegan diet. Veganism is not a diet. Diet is a part of veganism, but veganism itself is a belief system. It's the ethical stand against animal exploitation. It has nothing to do with the food. The food just happens to be a big part of it, but it's not a diet. It's an ethical stand against animal exploitation. So when someone is a vegan, that means that they choose not to consume or exploit any animals whatsoever. And it's not just diet, it goes for clothing, entertainment, like studies on animals, like in your skincare products. It goes far beyond diet. So veganism itself is not a diet. But you can have symptoms of orthorexic eating disorder patterns if you are overly obsessed. That's the thing. It's not the food that's the problem. It's the over obsession with purity. It's the over obsession with making sure you get every like milligram of iron out of whatever, and being so hyper focused on being perfect and pure. That is when you are entering into the realm of what they call orthorexia. It's the obsession with it. It's not the food. It's not eating healthy. We can eat healthy and have a very healthy relationship with the food that we eat. We can be raw and not be orthorexic, but orthorexia is the obsession with purity and the obsession with being clean. So that's the distinction between the two. So going raw does not equal orthorexia. There's people who eat a raw diet who do have symptoms of orthorexia, that's for sure. But there's also people who eat a standard diet who have the same symptoms because they're overly obsessed with like weighing every gram and weighing everything and making sure everything is perfect. It's about finding freedom, eating healthfully, and understanding why we choose raw food, understanding what we should be eating abundantly, eating a lot of variety, and not getting so hyper-focused on all the little details. Of course, it's good to know these things. Like, it's good to learn about what's in our food because we're putting it in our bodies. It's good to learn about nutrition, but to not be obsessed about it. That's the distinction. So I hope that helps answer that question. Yeah, and she's saying, do you tell people that you're doing first or keep it private? That's a good question too. Honestly, I would recommend, it depends on the person that you're talking to. That's going to really ultimately decide if you are going to keep it private or not. When I first went raw, I did tell people close to me because it was going to be very important that I have an open dialogue with them as to what I was going to choose to eat and what I was going to say no to. But when it came to strangers, I would just simply say, I'm trying to eat healthier, because this diffused any walls that would be put up. If I said I'm a raw vegan, some people were like, whoa, I don't want to do that. So then they get like kind of defensive over it. And they're like, well, I could never do that. Or, wow, that's brave. Or whatever. They're going to say all these things because they aren't raw, right? So what I found is, like, if strangers said like, oh, wow, you're buying a lot of like healthy food, I'll be like, yeah, I'm just trying to eat healthier. And they'd be like, oh yeah, I totally need to do that too. So they can resonate with that a lot better than you saying like, oh, I'm a raw vegan, because most people don't know what we're talking about. So it depends on the person that you're communicating with. And if you are having really like a lot of friction with somebody, explain to them that you're doing this for yourself and that you care about their worry for you. They're worried for you because they're coming from a place of where they're at. They don't understand everything that you're doing. They don't understand what you're trying to do. So being very loving to them and just being open with the communication and letting them know that you appreciate what they have to say. You do not have to agree with somebody to appreciate their perspective. You don't have to even say that you don't agree. You could just be like, thank you for sharing that. That means a lot to me that you care. That's all you need to say. You don't have to agree with them, but to give them that validation, it really calms them down, and then they're less likely to debate you on stuff because they feel heard. We just want to be heard as people. So giving them that validation, again, you do not have to agree with them, but you have to let them say their piece and just say thank you. That's all we need to do. We have to get good at doing that as humans, I think. What's your take on alkaline water? Honestly, I don't do the alkaline water thing. I don't believe it's ideal. I know people are going to be like, ah. The thing is that our stomachs need to be acidic to help digest our foods. And I think overabundance of alkalinity, I eat an already alkaline diet. I don't need to drink alkaline water. I think it's another thing that people try to add to an unhealthy lifestyle. It's like the intermittent fasting. They're using it as justification to still eat the things they're eating. They add the alkaline water so they can still justify eating their really acid forming foods. Like, I feel like it's like the modern society uses these things as fads to justify still doing whatever they're doing. And then people in the natural health world, they gravitate to it. They're like, oh, well, if I add this too, it's going to be even better, right? Nate and I just do reverse osmosis water. And we use filtered water. We don't do the machine. I had an alkaline machine like decades ago, and I never noticed a difference, and I don't want to buy another one. I'm not interested in doing that. But if it gets you to drink more water, do it. But I don't think that it's any more beneficial to me anyways. And I've done the research. I've heard all sides of the stories, and it's just not something that I buy into personally. But again, to each their own, no judgment whatsoever, just sharing my opinion. Chop or slice up your Brussels sprouts when putting them in your salad. That's my tip. Yes, watermelon lime, that's a great idea. I like to grate them so they're really nice and fine. Chopping them nice, it works really good too. You can even freeze, like you can shred them and then freeze them. And then when you put them in your salad, they're softer. They're kind of like cooked cabbage. It's really cool if you freeze them first as well. I feel like I've been thirsty for literally years, but I'm negative for diabetes. I've been up and down with my healthy food, but still eat way more fruit and veg than family members. Interesting, yeah. So I would say check out your sodium levels and see where those are at. But if you are bouncing in between like healthy and the high salt stuff, then that could be part of the issue. But if you're negative for diabetes, yeah, just like increasing your hydration and increasing your raw food by lowering the higher sodium things that you are eating on the side. Because it's not just what we do to our bodies or what we give our bodies, like all the fruits and vegetables and all the good stuff. It's actually more so about what we take away, right? Because if we keep these like random things in our diet, they can still keep you bloated or feeling thirsty because you still have that once in a while, right? And that can affect your body for days after eating something. So you really have to look at what you're eating and if that's helping. So social connections are part of the wheel you're discussing, and that is where I fail. Eating at family gatherings, even if I bring something healthy, how to navigate that. My best suggestion for you is to go into the family gathering with intention. Most people forget the mindset part because they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and blah, 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 blah. We have to work on the intention. Why do we want to choose our food that we're bringing when we go to the family gathering? I like to go into family gatherings knowing that I'm being an example to everybody else. I want to show that I'm serious about my choices, that I stick to my word, and I want to be an example to the people I love. I want them to see that it's good to eat healthy food. So I choose raw when I'm at family gatherings as well. I bring my own stuff. I bring extra to share. I love to see the reactions on everyone's faces. And if you get the bundle, you guys, the bundle link is in the chat or in my bio or in the description, wherever. There's links everywhere. Get the bundle because we have a group collaboration ebook in there called Appetizer Favorites. It's all raw. Everything in the bundle is raw. Everything in the bundle is brand new content. You can get the Appetizer Favorites ebook and you can make some cool raw vegan appetizers to take to your family gathering. And it's so much fun to take your food to these gatherings and share with them and go with intention. Before going into the family gathering, stand in a bathroom or whatever and look at yourself in the mirror and stand in a power pose. Like, take up as much space as you possibly can. Stand like a star, stand like Superman or whatever. Stand really big and tall. Look at yourself in the mirror and go over your affirmations and your reasons why. Like, why do you want to do this? And that can create a lot of energy within you, a lot of motivation to stick to what you believe. Because again, you're being an example. They're watching you. So if you say you're raw and then you go to the family gathering and you eat chips, then they know you're not serious. And then they're going to be more likely to just offer you stuff because they're like, oh, well, she's not serious, so she'll eat my pierogies or my whatever, right? So you have to be serious. You have to show them that you're serious. So go in to the family gathering with intention and go in with love, because you know they're going to ask you. Just give them a big hug and be like, thanks for the offer. I'm good with my raw thing. How are you? I love your hairstyle or nice cute outfit that you have on. Change the subject and just love your family and go in wanting to be with your family and friends, not going to eat. You're going to eat your own thing, but whatever, but you're going for them. So the intention is key when going out for social. So I hope that helps you too. This is a great live, you guys. This is so awesome. Oh yeah, such insane value. Y'all don't want to miss out on the bundle. I love that everyone's having so much fun with the bundle. My Raw Vegan Wraps ebook has been released inside this bundle. It's the only place that you can get it right now until May 11th. So click that link in the chat, in the description, in my bio, wherever. Go click the link, go to the website, and look at everything you're getting for one price of $50. This is all of our brand new content, never before released. There's 40 brand new ebooks in there. Like, seriously, this is unreal. We all decided to release our brand new content in this bundle. So we're going to sell it all after, but if you were to buy it all after, it would cost you over $1,800. But if you buy all our new stuff right now until May 11th, it's only going to be $50 and you get everything. You get to download all the ebooks that are on the website. So go to the website, link in the chat, link in description, link in my bio, and buy the bundle. If you want to support us, if you love what we do, if we've helped you and you want to support, this is a great way to do so, because you're not only supporting us, but you're supporting yourself by adding more raw to your diet. And you do not need to be a raw vegan to enjoy the contents of the Raw Vegan Bundle. We all know we should be adding more raw to our life, and this is a great way to do so. So please go check it out. Oh, thank you guys so much for the kind words. You're so awesome. Oh, you guys are great. Thank you for the response. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, you guys are awesome. So many kind words in here. I have heartburn every day. It's a bummer. That's an interesting one. I would want, if you want, I'm always open for you guys to send me direct messages and I can brainstorm with you. Obviously, I'm not a medical doctor and I can't diagnose or cure or treat or whatever, but I can brainstorm with you and I can offer suggestions and ideas and you can try different things. But with heartburn, typically that's either a sign that you do not have enough stomach acid or you're not chewing your food thoroughly. That's another thing. There could be some other reasons. So those are my top two off the top of my head, but you can always message me and we can see if we can dive further into that. That's cool too. She's practically giving it all away. We're giving it all away to you guys. Seriously. The bundle is amazing, and I know it's like I talk about it over and over again. It's because it's like I want you guys to have all this stuff, and it's only $50 and you get over $1,800 worth of brand new content, including my Raw Wraps book and Nate's Kitchen course. And we really want, the reason why we do the bundle is because we want to get you this content. And we charge for it because we have to pay for the website, we have to pay for random fees and everything. So there is a fee, obviously. That's why it's only $50 instead of $1,800. But we charge a small fee for you to get all our brand new content. And we have this bundle event every year where we all get together. We do lives with each other, like this live right now. We want to help you. That's the main goal. We want to help you add more raw food to your life. We want to answer your questions. We want to guide you, and we want to be there for you as your support. I'm here for your support. If you want to send me a message, if you have a struggle or an issue, I am here. This is my job. The reason we sell the bundle is so that I can be here for you for free. Like, you can send me a message. We can have a chat on Instagram text. Like, I love helping you guys. That's my passion. But I still need to pay rent and buy food. So that's why we do the bundles. But we do it so that we can help you, that we can be of service, and I can answer your questions. So if you have a question, send me a message. Don't worry about bothering me, because you're not bothering me at all. I love answering your questions. So scrolling here through, I hope I don't miss anything. Where do we buy the trays? Okay, so I don't have any trays with me right here. The trays for the wraps, you can send me a DM and I can send you the link, or you can buy the bundle, because when you buy the bundle and you get my wraps book with the recipes to make the wraps, you get inside the book, there's a video that shows you how to make the wraps, how to know when they're ready, how to wrap them. But there's also 2 pages in there that says things you need, and there's links to the dehydrator, there's links to the trays, there's links to oh my gosh, the deli paper wrappers, like these ones. Let me just grab one for you. Like, I just had a wrap for lunch. They're so easy to make. Like, I told Nate, I was like, we need to blend wraps every night because they're so easy. They're so easy. It takes 10, maybe 15 minutes to blend, pour, spread, and put in the dehydrator. Do that the night before and you've got wrappers the next day. Just fill them with veggies, make a nice sauce to dip, and you're done. It's so cool, and they're great to take to school, for work, camping, hiking, road trips, air travel. Like, they're so cool because once you wrap the wrap, they last about 3 days. So you can make them for like 2 or 3 days in advance. They're so cool. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys get the bundle. The link is in the chat, in the description, or in my bio. So go grab those. The link for the trays is in the ebook, or you can send me a DM because I can send you the link for the trays anyways, but it's in the ebook. So if you get the ebook, you can find the links to everything as well. Let's see, what else we got here? Wonderful response about gatherings. Love rather than defending myself. Yes, it's about love. Sharing the love. You don't need to defend yourself to anybody. There's 4 types of people that we interact with that I've noticed in my life, and I've noticed in society in general. Number 1, you have the intriguing one, right? The one who's like, oh, tell me more. We love those people because we can just share, and they're open and they're interested, right? So those people are fine. We don't really have to talk about them very much. Then you have the joker. This is the person who uses comic relief to make themselves feel comfortable in the face of your changes. They don't want to change, so they make jokes, they poke fun, they use like the humor that's really old and bland, right? So there's the joker, there's the bully who's going to make fun of you, and then there's the debater who's going to debate everything you say no matter what. So it's like, instead of getting involved with, trying to defend yourself from the joker, trying to defend yourself from the bully, trying to defend yourself from the debater, instead of doing all of that, just change the subject and be with the person. Listen to them if they have something to say. Again, you don't have to agree with them. Just say, thank you for sharing your thoughts. I really appreciate what you have to share, and I love you. How are the kids? Or whatever. Like, you don't have to go further into detail with it. So you're right. The last years when I met with my son, we go for a walk instead of meet for lunch. See, that's another thing too. Learning to do other things than eat food with the people we love, going to the park, doing things like that, that can be really helpful as well. You know, I love and appreciate all that you do. Oh, thank you so much. I love that you guys do. Heartburn, have apple cider vinegar in water before a meal. That can be very helpful. Thank you for sharing that. I totally missed the thought of that one. But yeah, having a small amount of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water before a meal if you have low stomach acid, which is typically the cause of heartburn. So if you're still on and you heard that, I hope that helps. I've been waffling between the bundle and getting your burger and ice cream and volume 2 books. Maybe I'll just have to do the bundle for now. Do the bundle for now because my ebooks will be available all the time. But the bundle is only available until May 11th. So if you want the bundle, which is 40 ebooks, you're getting 40 ebooks. There's over 400 recipes from all of us. Chris Kendall, my mom has her ebook in here. There's Raw Vegan Emma, there's Matt Bennett. There's so many cool recipes. There's a group collaboration ebook and you get everything for 50 bucks. That's it. So if you want to get my books, you can get them after. That's cool. That's totally fine. But I urge people to get the bundle because it's an amazing deal. Over $1,800 worth of brand new content. This is the only time you can get all our new content like this in this collection for $50. So go grab it, go grab it. Can't wait to try your wraps. Your food always looks amazing. Thank you so much. Made the wraps last night and made salad by hand this morning. Yeah, that's what I love to hear. I love it, I love it. I've been taking notes on your awesome insight. Can I access this live later? Yes, after this live, I'm gonna post it on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to have it saved here on Instagram, so you'll be able to go back through my videos and find it if you wanna watch it again. That's totally cool. And we're gonna be live in a half an hour with Sky Conway. She's Roar Sky here on Instagram, and she's got a book called Classics in the bundle. So we're gonna talk a little bit about recipes and things like that. Let's see, thank you for sharing all the information. I've learned so much today. Good, that's why I'm here. I want to teach you guys and I want to share. That's why we're doing these lives. We've got lives going on every single day from multiple people in the bundle. If you want to see all the lives that are going on, click the link in my bio or in the chat or in the description and go to the bundle website. On the bundle website at the top, there's a menu. You can click on 2023 live event schedule and it'll show all the live events that we have planned for you to help you get inspired to eat more raw food. So with that, I am going to say goodbye for now, only for a half an hour because we'll be back at 3 p.m. PST in a half an hour with Sky Conway. We're gonna be talking about recipes and more raw food good stuff. But thank you so much. I love you guys so much for all the beautiful comments. I read all of them. I appreciate you all to the moon and back. So I hope you guys grab the bundle and we'll be back at 3 o'clock. I love you guys and fruit on.